On this bumpy 50-point inspection from Singlecut Beersmiths out of Astoria, New York and Clifton Park, New York, I have PROG, which is a double dry hop, double IPA. They're using some type of Euro, what do they call them? Experimental hops. And it is 7.7% ABV, 90 IBUs. And yeah, that's the can art there. Some musical stuff. Looks like a water bong and stuff as well on there. So interesting. It's been a while since I've had anything from Singlecut. What I found on their website, they have some the facts or question and answers. Found one that's under miscellaneous. This one says, "What does Singlecut mean?" A Singlecut is a body style of guitar. In case you didn't notice, we like guitars. Who are the beers named after? Because they do have some strange names, like PROG. Most of our beers tend to be named after our favorite musicians, though we have been known to get more creative. Some of our most asked, 1933, is our address, and coincidentally, the year Prohibition ended. Does anybody remember laughter? Was a regrettable yelp Robert Plant blurts out in the middle of stairway. On the Robert Plant blurts out, oh wait, I just read that again. On the song remains the same. KT66 and all the other number letter combo beers are named after Rich's favorite tubes and amp parts. I told you we liked music, so I guess they're into music. So I'm guessing also with the Singlecut logo, that must be like kind of the shape of the butt end of the guitar, or maybe it's the head. I don't know. Well, hopefully I come back. I'm blurred now. So we'll do my little trick here. All right. Well, let's go ahead and pour it into a glass. Head on this fairly tight bubbles, kind of frothy. It's white, and the color of the beer itself is kind of a deeper gold. It's got a nice haze to it. I wouldn't call it murky, but definitely hazy. The aromas on this, all right, it's fruity. Almost reminds me a little bit of like a baby food mix almost. There's like a sweetness in there. It's like a sweetness, like almost like honey. There seems to be almost like a berry note, like a strawberry jam. A little bit of something that also reminds me of orange marmalade a little bit. This is like a very sweet smelling double IPA. Maybe a little bit of a bready note in the background, bready to a slight biscuit. But yeah, strawberry jam, honey, and orange marmalade. Maybe kiwi. I think there's a little bit of kiwi in this. It's definitely it's an odd smelling IPA for sure. All right, well, let's get into the flavors. Cheers. Medium body, medium carbonation. Slight softness to the palate, very slight. Some bready notes in there. Like I said, bready, a little bit biscuity on the flavor. Yeah, the hops come off really, really strange on the palate. I don't even know how to. It's not as fruit like on the palate, like in the aromas. It smells of everything I mentioned, it's not coming off with really any of those flavors on the palate. Get the get the breadiness, the biscuity type note a little bit. I think it kind of tastes it tastes like trash basically. It's got like maybe a rotting compost pile thing that's happening with the hops. It smells way better than it tastes. It does have a bitterness on it that lingers on. The bitterness is, I would say, kind of earthy and rotting fruit like. This is 2 months. It's 2 months old at the time of this inspection, so it shouldn't be bad. Yeah, I'm gonna give a score to this one now. Flavors are horrendous. I'll give the appearance a 6 out of 6. The aromas at first I liked. It was odd, strange, but once I started picking out the fruit notes and stuff that were in there, it smelled very sweet. I gave the aromas a 10 out of 10. Now that I drank it and I started smelling it again, some of the flavors I was picking up on the palate are starting to come through in the aromatics as well. So now it's like a double gag reflex almost. I was actually fairly, I think, beyond fair on my scoring for the flavors. I did like that I was getting some of that bread, biscuit type notes out of the malt. Starting to get a little bit of a graininess now too. So malt, I gave it a 2 out of 4. The hops just not coming through. I should have given it a 0 realistically. I just don't like the way that they're coming through at all in the flavor, but I gave it a 1 out of 4 for the hops. Balance, it's somewhat balanced, but it does just have that nasty kind of earthy tone bitterness with, like I said, it tastes like rotting compost trash for the most part. Somewhat balanced. Carbonation level is fine. The aftertaste is not good. I could have given that a 0 as well. I did give it a 1. So the total flavor score is 11 out of 19, just to be fair for this one. Beyond fair. The body 5 out of 5. My overall for this one, realistically, I would not recommend anybody ever drink this. I should have given that a 0 as well. But because I am going to drink it, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 for my overall. So, Singlecut Beersmiths PROG is going to get a BuMpY 34 out of 50, which is going to land it as drinkable. Cheers. Thank you all for watching.